You are plugged in. Not you. Right. The motivation to get out of bed. Nobody could have believed in the first years of this century. Nobody could have believed in the last years of the 19th century. Mine is immeasurably superior to ours, yours. I haven't said ours in 40 or 5 years. Yours. Because I do like that phrase. Excuse me, science fiction. I won't forget. No, but I'm good at signposting myself. Obviously. Cheat it. Oh, well done. No, you do it, mate. I need you. Friends, Romans, lend me your ears, which is anagram for arse. The book, Prick Up Your Ears, is prick up your arse. Hey. Meta, you published and have in your library Carter the Unstoppable Sex Machine. Go ahead, you fucking sadist. Pack her up and kiss some babies. Get your tits out for the ladies. Well, the first part is describing politicians, but you could probably guess that. Good point. One. Oh, well done, cheater. You do land awfully well, I must say. Nobody could have believed in the last years of the 19th century. Mine's immeasurably superior to yours. Scrutinized our world from space. Few of you could even have conceived that, like scientists, you will be scrutinized under the microscope. So, that was the basis of my life, isn't it? I've scrutinized the world, human existence, and even animals, because some of you animals I don't like. Parasites. There's a nasty insect bug thing, I think, in South America. It keeps its prey alive while it devours it for days. That I don't like. I'm trying to come to the terms that there must be a reason for flies. I like and cultivate spiders. They eat the flies. But there must be a reason. So, War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. Nobody could believe. What is it? It's an allegory. The shit hits the fan. Fantastic at the time in Victorian Britain. Its correct meaning was out of this world, not pertaining to the earth. Fantastic. It was bastardized, which is not a swear word. It was bastardized in the early 20th century. I don't know if that's ironic. So, what is the point? An ceteris paribus, all being equal, Martians are coming from space. It can be any threat. It can even be the threat of threat. War and terrorism, hello. So, you're in trouble. Who do you turn to? In the book, the Martians defeat the military and the police. The church is no good. He thinks it's divine retribution for Satan's work on earth. No, Nathaniel, no. They didn't listen. Didn't I warn them? Watch out for Satan everywhere. Fill in it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that man, Jeff Lynne, managed to get all those people. But well done him, because it's exceptional. And he dissects the allegory to its mathematical degree, so it's even easier for people to understand the message? Who do you go to at a time of crisis? The government. Fail. The army. Fail. Police. Fail. Organised religion. Fail. Your fellow man. Fail. Game theory. I don't like game theory. Most of you have got cod understanding. You think you can make money. Ceteris paribus. My mother said, what's good for you is good for my son. So, in my last years on this earth, is might right? Because it isn't. Everywhere in the world, I see it is. Is having money more important than how you got it? It is important how you got it, but everywhere in the world, I see it isn't. Therefore, make your mind up. Time to choose. Because by your rules, you will lose. I thought a scary laugh would be good then. Yeah? Yeah, scary laugh. Sorry for taking so much time. But you know what I mean? If... oh, no, we live in a egalitarian society where the most creative people and the best brains get to the top. Sorry. I was going to moon you and say I fart in your general direction. Well, that amount of horseshit, I normally say kiss me. Why? Because I like to be kissed on the mouth while I'm being fucked up the ass, which is not true. But it's a really sort of like thing to say to morons who are taking liberties. So, all I want is an answer on a postcard, in the comments, or a change in society. Doesn't matter if you didn't take money. If you're a Conservative minister and all you took was hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of cocaine from the KGB over 15 years or whatever, that is still treason. You should have asked for money as well. No, you shouldn't have done it. We're all hypocrites. However, you preach one thing and lived a different way. And now good people don't want to serve the community anymore. And the ones that do are driven to poor health because the bureaucracy is no longer there to help. It's just there to cover people's asses and pay a small section of society more money than the others. Sorry, but it's true, isn't it? I'm sorry. If the truth hurts, sod off. My mum said, well, if you don't like the truth... My mum did not tell lies. But she said if people looked her in the eye and asked her a stupid question, she gave them a stupid answer. One such example is in September 2009, 10, 11. My sister asked my mum, is Desmond coming to Glasgow for you when you're going to Glasgow for a week? No! Obviously we were. Mum took me not for the first time, but for the last time, Mum took me everywhere. That was her Glasgow. We went to where you can still see her room. They destroyed everything and put a Lidl, but the facade's still there, and she lived in the attic, so we could still see her room. East End of Glasgow. East End of Glasgow. Catholics weren't allowed to study at the Royal College, only Protestants. I know. So Mum worked, because as a nurse then you worked during the day and you did your training at night, you did your education at night type thing, and a few lectures. The lectures were at the Royal College. They could go to the Royal College for lectures, But they could only look after the poor in the East End, not no, not the rich. Or the Protestants, obviously. I don't know. I mean, the truth is, if you lived in the East End of Glasgow, you're most likely considered poor. I can assure you, you got exceptional treatment, direct. Two things come up. When my granddad Donnelly was older and was in hospital for certain problems, he apologised to Aunt Charlotte and my mum. Said, I just thought nurses were there to sort of like mop the brow of the doctor like you see in the movies. I hadn't realised the work and dedication and hard work and brilliance you need to be a nurse, and apologised to them. That meant a lot to both of them, actually. And the other one is the discussion when Michael was on about £126 an hour. And Mum said, well, a nurse is on X amount. Do you think you're worth so much more? He said, not only am I worth more, he said, I'm severely underpaid. Now, actually, Michael was right. He was severely underpaid. But, well, just from a basic economic business cost, the benefit he gave to a business worth considered what they paid him, and the difference was embarrassing for all concerned. Can you imagine how embarrassing it must have been when everyone they said, can you do this job? They went, no. Only Michael can do it. How do you know? Well, because he trained all of us. And whenever anyone's got a problem in this area of expertise in the world, they contact Michael. We still contact Michael on a daily basis saying, we've got a problem, what do we do? But securing the Disaster Recovery Centre from attacks, civil or external, they couldn't contact Michael every day because they had to give up the phones for 2 or 3 days, which meant they couldn't do the job. Which meant they said, he's the only person in the world that can do the job. It was nice seeing the birds outside. God, you look beautiful, aren't you, Julie? And that photograph earlier, the spiked teeth sticking out. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8 women. 9 women. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You ran a wonderful community. Mrs. Granby was amazing, vivacious, beautiful, talkative, and excited, and still is. Well, you can see from the photograph. There you go. She's the one looking extremely excited in the red. Next to her is Florrie Wilkinson, Mrs. Wilkinson to me. She was the granny of Terry John Joyce and Sean John Joyce. Excellent friend. And she was famous for her pie and pea nights because her pastry was... Mum said Florrie Wilkinson's pastry is better than hers. That's a statement. So the bottom right is the lady's name I can't remember, but people would be rude about her and say she says this. Winnie! She just had an opinion or a question, she said it. So, you know, I thought she was marvellous. Always laughing, like the photograph, bottom left. Look at her. Mrs. Wagstaff, maybe? I only ever people referred to as Winnie, but I had never called her Winnie. She was Mrs. Wagstaff to me. Look how elegant. Well, all of them, but like red Mrs. Granby at the back, Mrs. Wilkinson, and then look at her in the blue. Yes, the lady there was amazing. Yeah, well, people judge on looks, don't they? Well, they're stupid. I don't. And this woman, is that Mrs. It's not Mrs. Donnelly, I do apologise. Or is it? Obviously, because I watched them grow old, didn't I? And in Mrs. Donnelly's case, die. But I don't think you are. But look how intelligent she is. Look how intelligent she is. And look how much she's leaning into Mum. I know. Look at my Mum, how happy she is. They did extraordinary things. Well, I liked Father Smith, but he wanted to pay off debts. I know. And so therefore, it was still a wonderful church, but it wasn't quite the piss up. Have an event for anything. The first girl in the village, a young girl got leukemia. The entire village went on a sponsored walk and raised money for the entire extended family to go to Disneyland or Disney World, I don't know. Well, in 1979 or something, that was quite exotic. You couldn't do that now for everyone, could you? Oh no, it's got nothing to do with the increasing chemicals and plastics in processed food and, you know. My people, coal miners, we didn't eat processed food. Alright, Yorkshire people were weird. Mum could not understand and would have banned the Yorkshire practice of if you pour on a Sunday, the man must have his roast beef, even if the women, the wife and the children only have vegetables and gravy from the beef. Our next door neighbour, Mr. Vernon, had to have his beef. My mum loudly and frequently to everyone went, not like that, Mum was very polite. She only ever used a swear word once. That was because everyone else was doing it. And she went, bastard, see, I can swear too. Shut everyone up. What the hell happened there? Mum didn't even need to speak to exercise authority. I got that look once, I think in the last 35 years of my life. none of your business. Which is a shame. Why? I come out of the story as someone who shouldn't think about things too much because I get to the answers. That's what thinking's about, isn't it? Getting to answers. You don't change your mind very quickly. No, I've taken a long time to get to this stage of mind. Makes life very easy. Good night, God bless. I don't know what the time is. I saw 3:10. Well remembered, leopard. Thank you very much. 24 minutes, blimey. I don't know. I have listened to some of the things, not often. The quality on Facebook Lives is all right with the Motorola phone. But yes, every so often I do have it at the end of my bed so I can do things in bed. I haven't done too many things, but I've got to take life easy. Did I save it? Let's do it again anyway. That's what the videos are for. Lots of things. If nothing else, to prove that I know what I'm doing when I'm doing it. The videos also show, completely by accident, that what I'm like around random people and what they're like with me, and also how every movement, noise, and gesture with me is delicate, whether I'm loud or not. I am not like the majority of you who feel the need for histrionics and whatever when I'm not quite as good as my mum can do it, I know. Or minute change of tone. I said to some people on the way to the shop, I said, if mum said it was black and it was white, it was immediately black. And I can adapt to that kind of tyranny if I so choose immediately. And of course I choose, it's my mother. I answer to two, God and my mother. You are not either. God, Vic and my mother it turned into. And then if you're answering to God, Vic and my mother, I'm answering to Pam Gilchrist too. It's almost always better to be on Pam Gilchrist's side and be wrong than right. Not always, but almost always, which is pretty good, by the way.